Matthew 15:5. Humes de legata, hos on epe to patri e te metri, doran, ha on exemu ophelethes. Remember that Jesus has established right before this that God said, honor your father and your mother, and whoever speaks evil of father or mother should certainly be put to death. And he's speaking to Jesus here, speaking to the Pharisees and scribes. He says, but you guys, but you guys say, notice the contrast above. God said, but you all say, we'll go very literal here, whoever, we know the subjunctive's coming. There's a lengthened vowel. This is building on the second aorist stem, just a second aorist active subjunctive, third singular. But whoever says to father or to mother, implied relationship, whoever says to his father or to his mother, and we'll go very literal here, and I'm going to skip over the word gift here for just a moment, like gift or offering. Whatever from me you would have benefited from whatever from me you would have been benefited, and then implied, is a gift. In other words, from whatever from me you would have benefited from, like I would have given to you as a child supporting their parents, is a gift to God, is a doron, is an offering to God. Now notice following this on whatever, we know the subjunctive is going to be following that. As soon as we see this theta, we say, bam, that settles it. That's an aorist passive subjunctive, and that's the second person singular. You would have benefited from, you would have been aided by. This is from a word you might not know, opheleo. It's not especially common. Opheleo means to aid or to benefit, to help, opheleo. Let's look at one other thing before we close out today. Let's go back to the first line and practice parsing something very simple. So we have this legata. What do you see there? Well, you say that's from the verb lego, and I know my regular endings. We're doing this to help people who may be a little more basic here. O, ace, a, amen, eta, usen. Now go back there, look at that second person plural ending. Ding, 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 ding. So what we have is just a present active indicative, second person plural. And though we don't need an explicit pronoun subject, there it is. But you guys, probably emphatic, isn't it? But you guys, you Pharisees and scribes, you say, whoever says to father or mother, whoever says to his father or mother, whatever else you would have been owed by me, you've been helped by me. It's an offering or a gift implied to God. Here at the end of the daily video, I just want to take a moment to challenge you to go deeper in your reading and knowledge of the Greek New Testament. It's time to stop coasting and go deeper by joining a learning community, and together with other serious Christians who are reading the Greek New Testament and with the accountability of a class to really push your Greek to another level. If you go to adullamcourses.com, go to the webpage adullamcourses.com. This is a class I'm teaching through Adullam Media. So go to adullamcourses.com and click on Philemon in the fall, right there, Philemon in the fall. When you click on that, if you go to About, it will tell you a little bit more about the course. And so I'm going to just highlight some of these items over on the right, and then we'll click through the course and take a look at it. There are extensive pre-recorded videos by me in this course, and 95% of this is already up and functioning. So you can sign up today and start working through the course. You can continue working through it after the live component is done. You continue working through it all the way to the end of 2025. Even though it's only designed as a 4-week course, you could stretch it out. Having these pre-recorded videos like this allows me to go a lot deeper than I can in daily 2 to 3 minute videos. Also, I want to push you guys. Of course, any portion of the course you could choose to do or not do, but there's a section each week where I line diagram the entire text of Philemon, whatever we're looking at that week. So I begin with an instructional video about how to do line diagramming, and then you can go along with me. It's like watching Bob Ross paint a painting where I'm talking softly as I'm diagramming, explaining what I'm doing, and gently helping you to do that as well. What's the benefit of line diagramming? You can't fake your knowledge of grammar and syntax with line diagramming. You have to decide what is modifying what. It really will strengthen your grammar. There are also short videos that look at the textual variants, and let's admit, many of you just skim over that. You haven't really, you say, oh, I don't, I learned about that a long time ago, but this will help you to read the apparatus there and understand what's going on with the manuscripts. There are automated weekly quizzes. You can take them multiple times, but they're the accountability you need to know that you're learning to translate, parse, and understand the Greek New Testament. We have weekly 1-hour live Zooms throughout the month of September, every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A lot of that time we're going to be talking to each other, but we also have guests coming in. So, for example, we have Dr. Tyler Flatt, who got his PhD at Harvard, and I don't know anyone who understands Greco-Roman slavery better than he does. He's going to give us a brief lecture on that and do Q&A. We also have the famous New Testament scholar from New Zealand, Dr. Murray Harris, who's agreed to join us. We also have Dr. Jarvis Williams, who is author of the forthcoming Were Biblical Themes on Colossians and Philemon, and Dr. Brad Bittner, who is the co-editor of the 2 most recent volumes of New Documents Illustrating Early Christianity. Someone who can really help us understand how material from the papyri and inscriptions and so on continue to elucidate the language of the Greek New Testament. Again, those are for people registered for the course every Friday, 4 p.m., and the recording of those is posted for those who cannot join us. Lots of free samples of resources here, readers' editions and interlinears, and samples of exegetical guides and commentaries are provided, and discount codes. And I want to point out as well, if you register for Philemon, you also gain free access to the archived courses of Philippians and Jude. So sign up for this course, and basically you get access to 3 courses. And the Jude course and the Philippians course have similar content. There's other stuff that we haven't even gone through here. For example, each week we also have a sermon from a student that then is evaluated and critiqued by me and a homiletics professor to help all of us, those of us, not just who are preachers, but anyone who teaches others, whether it's even in your home, homeschooling, or as a Sunday school teacher. How can we be better communicators of God's truth? Not just to understand the Bible rightly, but then be able to explain it and present it in a winsome and challenging way to others. Now, at the top of this page here, I'm going to click on Path, and you'll see how the course is laid out. And as soon as someone joins the course here, you can join the archive course of Philippians, archive course of Jude, which is a full course with quizzes and all that material as well, and sermon discussion. Or you could review your basic Greek with 90 days of biblical Greek there. But we come into the Philemon course proper, and you can see here's resources we could click on here. It'll give us discount codes. It'll give samples of these different materials. It's queued up to help you with vocabulary flashcards and various. Here's an illustrated guide provided by illustrated version of Philemon provided by Lingua Deo Gloria. So wonderfully given to us here to have such an incredible ministry. All these different audio versions. Then we come down to just a typical week here. So a typical week 1, the overview video, and then we have a screencast where I go very deep in the text that's selected. And because it's week 1, we also have a screencast where I teach diagramming, basically, and provide you with resources to help you do that. And then I diagram through the text of Philemon 1 through 3. We have videos looking at text variants. We have this sermon by a student in the class, and then also a video of me and a preaching professor discussing his sermon. And then we have an automated quiz, which just for accountability. Again, it's not going in your permanent record anywhere. This is just for your own accountability. And then we challenge you to upload your teaching outline to put into writing what you are learning, so that then you can use it if you're a pastor in your sermon, or for a future Sunday school class, or even in home discipleship with your family or children. You can see each week is laid out in a similar fashion like this, providing screencast, diagramming, and so on as we go through. And then, finally, there is the final exam, which, again, this is optional. We do that so you're not scared, but we encourage you to hold yourself accountable to the high standards of being able to read and translate and parse and discuss the text, Perhaps you're also hoping to be a member of the A.T. Robertson Secret Society to get 100 on that exam, and there's bonus on there. So most of you will be able to do that if you study hard and take the course seriously. I mean, the book of Philemon is not that long. You should be able to master it for this. Of course, we can't master God's Word completely. We seek to be mastered by it, but you should be competent to show your proficiency on this exam, and even to get 100 on it, and to download then a certificate of completion. So I know this has been a bit long, but I just wanted to make a case for you to join me and the others in this learning community, that we can go deep into God's Word, learning it better, growing together, loving each other as we come to love and know our triune God better.